Hey guys, Stay Patient here, and I don't have long today, but we're going to take a quick look at the January sale. Now, I'm not sure if this is the same in the US as it is in the UK. We're not going to take a look at both just because I don't have the time to do so, I'm afraid. But I've had a quick sort of brief look through. We're going to focus on the PS4 stuff here. Now, I couldn't remember what the price for Tomb Raider was when it was in the 12 deals of Christmas, but that strikes me as an okay price considering all the content you're getting. Most of the big AAA stuff is quite overpriced. I've been looking through this and I've been extremely underwhelmed by the deal in general, the wholesale, because all the big games are, they're no cheaper than what they've been on the store recently anyway. So if anything, this is just like a kind of extension to the deals that have been up for the last couple of months, really. And most of these games you're going to be able to buy cheaper in the January sales if you buy them retail. One game that does stand out to me is Ratchet & Clank. Now, this is obviously an awesome game and it's been holding its value quite well. I haven't shopped around all of the different outlets and you might be able to get it cheaper than this. But every time I see it in a sale, from one of the retail outlets, it always seems to be sort of at least £20. Usually it's sort of around 25 quid. So $15.99, that might be a good price. Like I say, I've not compared all the prices of these games to retail prices because I don't have the time to do so. But I'm going to point out the ones that have easy platinums and the ones that strike me as potentially a good deal. But obviously I'll leave it up to you to do the actual shopping around to make sure, or check and see if it is a good deal or not. We're going to whiz through fairly quickly. Like I say, most of the AAA games are way overpriced. The Fallout 4 Season Pass isn't on offer, or at least I couldn't see it unless it crops up later. But all the individual prices actually put the, if you were to buy each individual DLC, it would work out as, I think, £22, just under £22. Now that's pretty cool because the actual Season Pass has been £40, I think, for a while, or at least 30, I forget now, but it went up considerably. Yeah, it was £40 because originally it was £25 when the game released, in the first place. Then they added more content to the DLC or to the season pass and they whacked the price up to 40 quid. So, if you buy them all individually for £22, that's actually cheaper than the season pass was on sale for quite recently. So it might be worth just buying them all individually. In fact, let's just check the price of the season pass. Season pass bundle, is that 40 quid? Okay, so this is just the bundle, I take it. Just the season pass. Makes it sound as if you're getting the game as well. No, look, requires Fallout 4 games sold separately. So that's the season pass is still 40 quid, but you can buy each of the individual DLCs for £22 combined. So that's pretty cool. Most of this, I did scan through all this, nothing worthwhile there. At least nothing that's any cheaper than elsewhere. I think the same was true for several pages. I was hoping for some VR stuff, and there are a few VR games. They're not massively reduced. But Mad Max seems cheap, but you can get it for that price almost everywhere if you buy it retail. One game I did notice was... Just Cause 3. Now, if you're after Just Cause 3, go to base.com. I don't think it's on the sale here. I haven't stumbled across it. But base.com have got it for $13.99, so that's a decent price. They have been reducing Dying Light quite a lot recently. You can buy the following Enhanced Edition, which comes with all the DLC and the game itself for $15.99, so that's the way to go, unless you already have the game or whatever. But Dying Light, the following DLC, the standalone, larger DLC pack was quite expensive for a while, so this might be worth picking up. It's a good game as well. Okay, so we've got World of Final Fantasy, 35 quid. You should be able to get it cheaper than that, but it is holding its value quite well, so that's not too bad a price. I mean, just the fact that it's in the sale in the first place is pretty cool because it's one of those games that seems to sell for a lot of money for several months. Dirt Rally was on sale for £16, I think. I bought it in the Black Friday sale, so that seems a bit of a rip-off, 22 quid. Borderlands, that's always reduced down nowadays. If you haven't got it, just buy it. It's awesome. Okay, so getting some more VR stuff appearing. I noticed XCOM 2 was on sale for cheaper than this recently, and it's the kind of game I think is going to start dropping down considerably. So although it's quite a good reduction here, I wouldn't buy it from here because you will see it. Like in the January sales, I reckon you'll start seeing it below £20 at least on disc. So yeah, moving on. We've got 15 pages to get through and... oh, not load. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, and I'm not going to spend too long today. Yeah, there was nothing here that I can remember standing out to me. Yada, yada, yada. Okay, I'm going to skip that page altogether. Nothing stand out there. Assetto Corsa, I think that's a bit buggy in the sense that they've... I don't know if they fixed it, but it was set up so that no matter how well you drove, the other drivers were always faster than you. So it was a bit demoralizing for anyone who played it, and that was why it got a lot of hate. They might have fixed it, but it's a super hard game apparently. So I think the mechanics and handling of the cars are really good, but you know it's very hard, and it's a bit the AI is not really set up correctly. Let's see here. We've got all the usual Battlefield add-ons and everything. Drive Club VR. If you've already got Drive Club, if you've already got the season pass for Drive Club, then you can get VR for this price anyway. I'm not sure if it's even cheaper now. Maybe they've dropped the price of Drive Club VR even further if you've got the season pass, because originally, you know, it was 30 quid, £16 if you've got the season pass. So maybe now that the game on its own is 16 quid, maybe if you've got the season pass you'll get it for like 8 quid or something, but I don't know, I haven't checked. In fact, I don't really have any way of checking because I've already bought it, so it just comes up with purchased, and obviously it's only a deal that's available on the store for you. It's only a price that they'll show you if you do have the season pass. Otherwise it will just come up as unavailable. Okay, yeah, none of this was really worth looking at. Resident Evil stuff. I'm not really sure of the prices of those. I remember 5 was a bit naff. A lot of people liked it. I thought it was rubbish. 6 was obviously awful. Let's see. Is anything good here? Come on. We're getting around to the like digital only stuff. Now this is when the deals start becoming a little bit more worthwhile because you can't compare the prices to retail because they're not available retail. At least some of these, you know, we're starting to get some up here. So we've got Canis Canem Edit, in other words, Bully. You probably know it as Bully. Red Dead Revolver. Let's see here. Thumper, another VR game. This is the first like actual decent deal, I think. Although it's to be expected around this time once the whole season has been released. So Batman, the Telltale series, was 25 quid, now 12. Basically half price or just under. So yeah, I mean, that will probably drop down. Eventually they go down to like £8 in the sales, and that's quite a regular price. But it's the most recent, apart from season 3 of The Walking Dead, which hasn't finished yet, obviously, it's only just started. Batman is the most recent full release from Telltale. Obviously Dead Easy Platinum, as all the Telltale games are. Dragon Quest Builders looks quite fun, 30 quid, isn't too bad a price, but obviously shop around. I think I got it a few weeks ago for £28 or something, or it might have been 25 because I put it through Flubbit. Let's see, that's another one of the decent deals. I think Sherlock Holmes seems to be selling for quite a lot of money on disc. $11.99 here. I think I'd checked on Amazon and it's is it still here actually? No, I was looking at Ratchet and Clank, which is £22 on Amazon. Sherlock Holmes, The Devil's Daughter is 28 quid on PS4. So $11.99 strikes me as a pretty good deal for that, and it's an easy platinum. Takes around 10 or 12 hours, I think. Can be done quicker, but you know, it's fairly quick no matter how you approach it. Let's see, Earth's Dawn, I think that's touted as a potential easy platinum. It's got like 10% platinum completion, and someone gave it a 2 out of 10, and I think around 20 hours completion time on PlayStationTrophies.org. It's like a 2D hack and slash game. It looked a bit rigid, I don't know, it might be good, but I wasn't massively interested in it. Verdun is the game with like a massively long-winded, grindy trophy set, which looks insane, especially seeing as they released it around the same time as Battlefield and Call of Duty and Titanfall and everything. Dear Esther's got a lot of love, obviously. I don't think it's got a platinum, but that's a game that a lot of people really love. Unravel, fairly straightforward plat, 649. Let's see, what else have we got? Here's another one I was going to point out. I actually bought this for £16 when it first came out, Duke Nukem 3D 20th Anniversary World Tour. It's super easy and quick platinum. It's shown up in my trophy awards this year, as I think it was in the top 5 as one of the fastest platinums this year. It takes around like up to 2 hours, between half an hour and 2 hours. That's obviously if you're using the cheats, which you're perfectly allowed to do so. It's perfectly fine going ahead and activating cheats, and you can just whiz through that game. It's insane. Probably take you on average about an hour. Okay. The Assembly. I think this is going to be one of the only games I actually pick up. It does have a plat, nice easy platinum, nice quick one as well. It's a VR game, obviously, and it was too much for me to spend, really, 20 quid. It only takes a few hours. But £15, I can kind of justify spending that on it. So that's probably going to be one of the few games I actually think about picking up. The Telltale Games Collection, this is often on offer for pretty much the same price. Down from 80 to 25. You might think, wow, massive reduction, but to be honest, like, the sort of recommended retail price for these games individually is too much. I mean, if you split 80 by 5, what's that, like 15? That's £16 each, is it? 16.32. Yeah, it is £16 each. Now that's a lot. These games, you expect them, especially the older ones like The Wolf Among Us and the 2 Walking Dead series. You expect them to be about £8 each, especially if they're on sale. So 8 times 5 is 40 quid. So you're still making a decent saving. I mean, it's £5 each, basically. And that's perfectly reasonable, 5 games for £5. You're getting 4 platinums. And The Walking Dead Season 2 doesn't have a plat, but it does have almost as many PSN points. So you'll level up by the same amount as a platinum. Pardon me. So, yeah. If you've not got this yet, I mean, you might have 1 or 2 of the games already, so you'd have to work out whether it's worth buying this instead of buying the other games, the individual games that you still have left to pick up. But this is a good deal, 5 quid each, for like trophy-wise and game-wise, it's a good deal because you're getting a ton of trophies and they're all really enjoyable games as well. Before we go on, actually, let's just pop back. The other one I wanted to point out was Marvel Ultimate Alliance. Now, these are kind of average difficulty platinums, not too difficult. I think around a 4, maybe 5 out of 10. But the thing is, a lot of people are interested in them because they have nostalgic memories of them. But they were both selling for ridiculously high prices. They were way overpriced when they first released. Now, though, I mean, I think they were like 30 quid each. It was ridiculous for like remasters of... I think one was PS2 and one was PS3, if I remember correctly. But yeah, now it's down to $24.99. It's a more realistic price, like 12 quid each or $12.50 each. So if you're interested in them, just bear in mind that they are on sale now, because a lot of you probably passed them up straight away when you saw the price, because it was just insane. Journey's awesome, no plat, but if you haven't played that, just go and play it. It's so cool. Goat Sim, let's just start at the top. Oceanhorn, nice easy plat, around 10 to 15 hours, I think. We've got Goat Sim. Now, this is an easy platinum apart from one trophy, which is kind of a little mini game designed around the idea of Flappy Bird. It's called Flappy Goat, obviously. And it's quite frustrating. With a bit of practice, you'll get it. Basically, you need to just make your way past 10 of the little gates, get over or through 10 of the gaps, and it will take you a while to get, like maybe a couple hours or an hour or whatever. It's really frustrating, but eventually you get into the rhythm and you learn it, and the rest of the trophies literally take about 2 hours. That one Flappy Goat trophy is the only reason it hasn't shown up in any of my top 10 lists yet. It does deserve a place pretty much, but that one trophy can just be super annoying, and some people like never manage it, you know. So it could be that it's hard enough to stop you earning the platinum. But it's worth picking up. You can play it on a blank account, of course. Just set up a blank user on your PS4, and then if you do earn the trophies, you can sync them to your account. But it's nice and cheap, $2.89, and the DLC is real cheap as well. The DLC is a lot of fun, actually. You can just mess around in there. It's a stupid, crazy game, but it's a laugh, you know. It's got a good sense of humour. And these are both just £2 each, so you're getting, what's that, £6.86 or 87. Yeah, so under £7, you're getting the game with all the DLC. At least all the DLC here. I think there might be some new DLC out, but I haven't looked to see if they've got trophies yet. We're not going to do that now. I haven't got time. Valentino Rossi, I think, is an easy game. Most of the milestone racing games, you know, the bike racing games are. I think Beach Buggy Racing was free on PlayStation Plus at one point, and I started playing it, but then partway through, it just deleted my save, all my progress and everything. I was so ticked off. No, I bought it actually. I think I paid for it. Yeah, because I tried to get my money back. Not really because of the money, but out of annoyance. I wanted to kind of make a point to Sony or the developers or whatever. And I said, look, like, it's just wiped, you know, I can't, there's no point in me playing the game, because if it's going to do that every now and again, then I'm never going to get through it, let alone earn the trophies, you know. It is an easy platinum if you don't get plagued by, you know, by save file corruption or whatever. So if you're going to play it, upload your save file regularly. I actually did it on a blank account because I wasn't sure if I felt like playing it. And because I did it on a blank, I couldn't upload my save. In fact, when you're on a blank account, if you're not signed into any actual PSN account, then you can't even put the save files onto a thumb drive or like an external hard drive, because it asks you to sign in before you do so. So that's annoying. You used to be able to do that. You used to be able to play on a blank account, upload your saves if you needed to. You know, if you needed to make two different choices in a game or something, you needed a save to revert back to so you could make the second choice. You could do that even if you weren't signed into any PSN account, you're just on a blank user. But now they've kind of stopped that. For some reason, they've stopped that from being an option, you know. Gravity Rush Remastered. That's cool, actually. I need to pick that up because I've got a customer who wants me to do the trophies for that, and I don't own it yet, and I was a bit worried about having to spend out loads of money on it. So that's pretty cool. I need to remember to grab that. It's not an easy plat, but it's not too difficult, and it's a lot of fun as well. Just be warned that the DLC, there's one challenge on the DLC that I actually found really kind of annoyingly tough. It might be something that you don't struggle with. I kind of found it tough in the sense that I was doing it for a customer at the time, and I was blasting through the game because I knew it quite well, but then I got up against this challenge, and I thought to myself, you know what? Because I wasn't actually doing the DLC for them, I was kind of throwing it in as an extra. So they hadn't like technically paid for it. But this one challenge, I just didn't feel like putting the time into. You might be able to, you know, manage it if you put the practice in. I could have probably done it. But it just seemed like one of those things I didn't really have the patience for at the time. So just be warned of that. The difficulty ratings for the DLC on PlayStationTrophies.org is like the same for each one. But one of them is definitely much harder, and a lot of people agree with that as well. Let's see, The Escapist, The Walking Dead Escapist, I think is the easy one out of the two. I think they're both, you know, relatively straightforward. But the Walking Dead version, I think, is the easier one out of the two. That's $3.99 on its own. We've got, let's see here, we've got Tropico 5. I think this was free. The basic edition, just the game on its own, was free on PlayStation Plus. I can't remember how long ago it was. It was sometime this year, I think. But yes, it was this year, I believe. Now, the reason I haven't played it myself was partly because of the price of the DLCs. They were way overpriced. Now, they're obviously dropping the prices of them down. I think, yeah, these are all the DLCs here, the main two at least. You've got Espionage and Waterborne, and they're both reduced. So that's pretty cool. I might pick them up, or it might actually work out cheaper just to buy the game, even though I've already got the game. I'll have to see. I'll check and see. I think it was just these two that have trophies, and I remember looking and thinking, well, it's a free game, but it's going to cost me £16 for the DLC, and I don't feel like spending £16 on Tropico 5. It's not that good. You know, it is meant to be quite a fun game. I do like the idea of the Tropico games. But now they're down to £4 each. I think that's, more viable. I'll probably pick that up at some point. Virginia, this is a super, super easy and quick platinum. Check out my top 10 videos, which will have, links to guides in the descriptions. And this shows up in a couple of those videos. $3.29. Might as well grab it if you haven't already. Half price, is it? Yeah, well, they do kind of weird prices, don't they? Like £4 would be half price, but $3.29. It's like, it's more than half price, which is good. But the percentages, I suppose it's just coincidence, I guess, because it's the percentage you save on each one is different. So sometimes it just happens to be a little over 50%. Tricky Towers, I've not heard of that. Probably something without a platinum, to be fair. Let's keep going. Shall we? Got a few more pages to go. The Bunker, half price if you haven't got that. If you're after an easy platinum, that's 90 minutes long, literally an hour and a half. We didn't mention Virginia. This is super easy and it also takes around 3 hours. But this is half the time. The Bunker, an hour and a half, dead easy. There's a guide for it on my channel, spoiler free. Okay, Damon Hatfield at IGN loves Enter the Gungeon. I've not tried it myself yet. You got some DLC for Just Cause. It's starting to get down to like the bits and pieces, isn't it? The stuff that no one really cares about. NACRA 5 meant to be quite hard, long-winded platinum and not a great game, but that's not a bad price, to be fair. Avengers. Have they got the Lego Avengers down enough? Deluxe Edition. Does this come with a season pass? Because I haven't got Lego Avengers yet. It's one of the few Lego games I've not picked up. And don't tell me it's going to take forever to... Oh no, it's okay. Right. Yeah. Gain access. Purchase Deluxe Edition gains access to the additional full season pass, which consists of over 40 new characters, blah, 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 blah. So let's just check and see if the Avengers has any DLC trophies. Oh, pardon me. Oh, I'm like, my stomach's gurgling and everything. Look at Marvel. Let's see, right. Yes, it does. Oh, it has a lot of DLC. Okay, so that's not a bad price, I guess. You'll have to compare it yourselves against retail prices. In fact, I guess buying it retail would be the way to go, because if you look at this, the game itself is £16. With the season pass is 20, so you're paying £4 for the season pass, but it's only £5 to buy on its own. So if you can find the game cheaper than £15 online, then it'd be worth doing that, because the season pass will whack it up to £20 or under £20, which is the same price as what you pay on here anyway. Plus then you could resell the game once you're done with it. Octodad doesn't have a platinum, but is a super easy and actually quite fun. It's really weird, but it's a laugh. The game itself, $3.99. It's only got a few trophies, but it's worth checking out, I think. And Jazzpunk does have a plat. It's one of the easiest and fastest platinums ever. If you follow my guide on my channel, it'll take you about an hour to complete, $5.79. That's a good price. So that's probably on sale in the US as well, in North America. So if you do have a North American account, then you could buy both copies for probably cheaper than the game was originally, just one copy. And you can earn both platinums because it, like I say, it's got a stacking trophy set. Lara Croft and the Temple of Osiris. That's actually quite a fun game. It doesn't have a platinum, unfortunately, but you get the season pass and the game for $3.99. I think that's pretty worthwhile. Trine 3. This is a easy platinum. It's not as quick as some people say it's going to be. Either that, or it just feels like it takes a bit longer because, I don't know, it's just a little bit, fiddly, or like it just took longer than I expected. You can get the trilogy here for $11.99, but I think the other two, I think the new version, the Enchanted Edition of Trine 1, is not too bad. But then Trine 2 was one of the easiest platinums on PS3, but the Complete Story Edition has got a whole new trophy set and it's a lot harder. So bear that in mind when you're, if you do pick up the trilogy. Trine Bundle, what's that then? Surely is that not the trilogy? Oh no, just the first two. Alright, that's odd. You can buy the first two for £8. Or 12. How much is Yeah, okay, it's still cheaper buying the trilogy. Anyway, let's keep moving. We've got Root Letter, which is one of the easy platinums we've spoken about. One of the, one of the Japanese games that's made its way over here. It's supposed to be quite good as well. 20 quid's still a lot to spend on a visual novel, but those types of games tend to hold their value for a while, so that could be a good price if you compare it to, the prices online. Let's see, I haven't actually looked this far yet, so I'm just kind of scanning through myself. I think Valley, I think that's meant to be a straightforward plat. In fact, I think that's a VR game. I don't know much about it, but yeah, check that out. It's a weird kind of jumping simulator, pretty much. Transistor, this is awesome. Transistor is a fairly straightforward plat. Once you understand how it works and everything, and you've got a good loadout, because the sort of crafting and character building sort of, choosing all your skills and stuff is really unique the way they approach it. It's a really cool idea and it works really well, and it sort of makes way for any number of combinations. You basically combine things together. They're called functions, and you combine them together as weapons or as like upgrades for your character. And you can have one function upgrading another function, or the other way around, or you can have multiple functions. You can even have the same function upgrading itself, but they all create like an infinite number basically of different effects and stuff, and it's so much fun. The game might not look like your cup of tea if you watch gameplay of it, but you need to really play it to understand it. I've had a lot of people that I've recommended the game to, and they were like, oh yeah, I saw that, but it doesn't look like my kind of thing, But pretty much all of them have tried it, off the back of my recommendation, and have come back and said that was amazing. It wasn't what they were expecting it would be. It's an awesome game, guys. It's definitely platable. It's a nice quick plat. I think I've managed to do it in about 6 hours before. Take you a bit longer probably when you're new to the game, but yeah, this is obviously Beach Buggy Racing and Riptide GP2, a bundle from Vector Unit. Like I said before, Beach Buggy just seems to delete your save at random, but Riptide GP2, that is an easy plat, and it's actually quite fun as well, so this isn't a bad price. Psychonauts is obviously a PS2 game brought to PS4. I think it's meant to be quite clunky. Meant to be a fairly sort of clunky port of the game, where the handling and the jumping isn't that great. But on PS2, it got a lot of love, and I believe the platinum is relatively straightforward as well. I've not heard of Blaze Rush. I might check that out later. But Riptide GP2, here it is on its own. If you don't want to bother with Beach Buggy Racing, it's actually cheaper. Look, 2 quid for this on its own, 5 quid for all three together. So this is definitely the way to go if you if you're a bit worried about the save file corruption of Beach Buggy, then yeah, Riptide GP2, man, 2 quid. That's totally worthwhile. That's a good deal. That's like the cost of some chips at McDonald's or something. You're getting a game, you're getting a platinum, which you will be able to earn, and you're getting a game that's actually a lot of fun as well. Brothers doesn't have a plat, but it's quite a nice game to play. It's quite a unique concept. Each one of your twin sticks controls a different brother, so you need to be moving them both around at the same time. It's pretty cool. We've got some of the Star Wars PS2 re-releases. Motor Racer 4, I think this is the VR game, which is this is a very new one. This is quite expensive, but I wouldn't play that in VR anyway. It'd make you so sick. It's ridiculous. I mean, it makes me feel a bit queasy just watching people play it on a static screen. It's one of those games, 101 Ways to Die. This is meant to be an easy plat as well. Or at least, not too difficult. Maybe like a 3 or 4 out of 10. Relatively quick as well. I think maybe around 10 hours or something. Sorry we're kind of rushing this, guys. It's not very well planned, but Zombie, I think that's also a relatively straightforward plat, but most of you probably got that for free because I think it was a freebie on PS Plus. Banner Saga 1 looks like a cool game. A friend of mine's got that and he quite enjoyed it, but it's not super easy. Okay, I think the last page, we've only got a few items here. Yeah, so Peggle 2. This is meant to be, this was given a 4 out of 10, but I just didn't understand it. I love the style, the music and just the almost bubblegum style visuals and everything. But the gameplay itself was just so random. I didn't understand how there could be any skill involved. And it was so random, I just couldn't be bothered putting any time in. I was like, basically, you're just pressing X. I mean, sure, I'm sure you could like learn the game and get better at it, but there's so much of it is just luck-based that I just didn't have time for it. Bastion is another game from the developers of Transistor, which I mentioned earlier is awesome. And this is meant to be really good as well. I've played a little bit of it. It didn't grab me as much as Transistor did, but it's meant to be really good. So I'm going to put some more time into it when I get a chance. And £3.29, it does have a platinum, and I think it's around a 4 out of 10 difficulty. So that's definitely one to take a look at. In fact, this sale seems to be getting better as we, the further through we get. Because we're getting all these games for like a couple quid. You could build up quite a collection of trophies and games just with, 10, 20 quid. Broken Age, a lot of people didn't like the speedrun trophy from this, but if you follow a guide, it's fairly straightforward. It's not too long a platinum. It's quite easy as well. So it's a point and click adventure. So when you hear that, you immediately get an impression of what kind of difficulty the plat's going to be. Resogun Season Pass, that was always cheap anyway. In fact, that's if you've got Resogun, which you probably have done if you've had the PS4 since launch. Because it was free. It was like one of the free games from the very first month of the PS4. The Season Pass is totally worthwhile. It's got some really cool content. It's got some brand new game modes, and some of it's a lot of fun. So for $2.49, I'd definitely pick that up and get the trophies from that as well. Amplitude is like a fun game. I was a bit disappointed they didn't remaster. What was the prequel to? Because they talk about Amplitude as if it was the first game to do this kind of gameplay, which is music, like rhythm action gameplay, along the lines of Rock Band and Guitar Hero, but using the controller instead. So, I'm trying to remember. Not Resistance. Hang on. Frequency, that's it. Sorry, I literally just had to turn around and look at my shelf with the games on. Frequency was the game that came before Amplitude from the same developers, and it was awesome. The music from it was really cool, and I love the game. I got really good at it like years and years ago when it came out. And they talk about Amplitude as if it was like the first game to do this kind of thing, but it wasn't. And I mean, you can't complain because it's the same developers, but I wish they would give more credit to Frequency, which to me is a better game, because a lot of the music in this is like unlicensed. It's just stuff that's been written for the game, and it's just not good. Like, I've played some demos of it and the music doesn't sound great. The gameplay's fun, although I do find it difficult, like, because you're using L1, R1 and R2 as the three like triggers for the three different kind of I guess rows that the icons can be on, or the columns. R2 obviously on PS4, it has, there's a lot of play in it because it's a trigger. You have to press it down a long way to trigger it, and that means you don't have as fine control over it. You do for things like shooters, that's what it's designed for. But for games like this where you need to press a button instantly, it throws you off, especially as the other two buttons are instant buttons. You press them and it's just press like on or off. It's not analog. Sorry, it's not digital. Is that the right? I don't know. Anyway, you know what I'm saying. I don't know. I'm talking out my backside now. But yeah, it's meant to be really hard as well. So I don't really know why I focus on that. It's one of those games that I really want to play, or I really want to like, because I love Frequency, but I just didn't like it when I tried it. Okay, I think we're done there. Yeah, cool. All right, there you go, guys. Sorry, it's been real rough, and I thought it was going to be quick. It's probably been longer than I thought it was going to be. But I didn't sort of prepare for this. I didn't realise the January sales were going to be up today. I literally came on the store to see if today's deals of Christmas was up yet. In fact, I'm going to double check. They might have added it, because they tend to kind of take down the old one and then add the new one with like a few minutes later. But no, they haven't yet. Okay, so I'll probably do another video later for the 12th deal of Christmas, which will finally be the last one, thankfully. And we can get that series over with. But yeah, I just thought we'd take a quick look through. And, it's been a bit rushed and a bit kind of slapdash because I didn't really have the time to go doing a ton of research and comparing prices across all the different games and things like that. But I wanted to just talk to you guys about those key kind of Easy plats, hopefully you've been able to remember them or take note of them as we've been going through. Most of them are ones we've spoken about plenty before during like top 10s and things like that. So you'll be able to grab, like Jazz Punk and The Bunker and Duke Nukem 3D, all those games, super, super easy plats, Virginia, and they're all on sale. So if you are waiting for a sale on those, which a lot of you are because, you don't want to overpay just for trophies, you don't want to buy a game and spend out a lot of money just to get the platinum. Some of those games are quite fun as well, obviously, but it's worthwhile waiting for sales, and you've had your prayers answered, so they are all like pretty much half price now, so grab any that you still have yet to buy. Alrighty guys, I'm going to shoot. Thanks very much for watching. I'll catch you maybe later for the next deal of Christmas, and if not, I'll see you on Sunday for the weekly update. Alrighty guys, so have a great, I don't celebrate this time of year, but have fun with your families, having time off work, getting some gaming in, whatever you're doing. Have fun, and I'll catch you very soon. Cheers guys, later.